We were able to watch the second episode of the second season of Alchemy of Souls, and everything that happened was mind-blowing. This episode was one of the most important revelations because it explained many things we wanted to know from the last season. One of the questions is, why did not Jin Boyan stop Naksu from running wild? And how does Naksu's original appearance appear in this new season if her body had been burned in the first season? We also found out in this new season who the real soul is that inhabits Boyan's body. That's why today I'm going to talk about the big revelation in the second episode of Alchemy of Souls. A detail that happened in this episode was the explanation of what happened 3 years ago with Mudok's body. I think that was the explanation we were all waiting for. Jang Wook taking away his runaway bride to the Jang family house. Choyan and Ho Kyung as flustered after she goes missing as the former thinks it is Park Dang-gu who did this. Elsewhere, Ho Kyung visits Master Lee and puts forth her worries when the latter reminds her of the events from 3 years back along with the warning he had given her. As Master Lee questions her intentions about saving Mudok, the scene shifts to a flashback from 3 years back when Jin Yuan retrieved the almost petrified Mudok from the lake. Ho Kyung recovered Mudok's body 3 years ago because she never forgot when she almost killed her, and as she whispered to her a mother word, she realized that it was her daughter Boyan's body, and she believes that the soul of her daughter is also inside with the soul of Naksu, who ran wild and killed her husband. Ho Kyung begged Master Lee to save her daughter when he reveals that Naksu's soul was trapped in this body by Buyan when the Alchemy of Souls was performed. He tells her that the only way to save the body was by using Naksu's energy inside the body to which Buyan's soul is clinging. We finally got to understand what happened after Mudok was rescued from the bottom of the lake 3 years ago, when Ho Kyung asked for help from Master Lee. Interesting enough, according to Master Lee, Mudok, her body was completely petrified without an ounce of water left by the time she was rescued, but miraculously, she was still alive. He told her that the only way the body could stay alive was to use Naksu's energy that remained inside the body. Buyan's soul clung to that energy, but to use Naksu's energy, Buyan's soul had to be gone while leaving Naksu's soul, otherwise, both souls would die. Master Lee asked Ho Kyung to decide whether to save her daughter's body by saving her or if she would keep her soul and watch her die. Ho Kyung, although she didn't like the idea of sacrificing her daughter's soul, agreed because at least she had something of her daughter, which was her body and blood. In the process, this means that Jin Buyan's soul is dead from the events of the last season. Intriguingly, Cho Young opens the doors of Jin Yuan and sees the energy of the world because it is Buyan's blood and body. Cho Young's body is Buyan while her soul is Naksu, and for the both of them to coexist without conflict, Buyan's body has no divine powers, while Naksu's soul has no memory. If Buyan's body regains her great divine power, it is likely to follow the return of Naksu's soul's memory and her energy as a powerful assassin. This was why Ho Kyung locked her up and didn't try to find a solution for her to regain her divine powers. She preferred Buyan's body to remain powerless than have Naksu's soul regain her memory and power. If that is the case and Naksu's soul regains her memory and power while Buyan's body regains her divine powers, Naksu will become one of the most powerful mage with great divine power and the powerful energy of the assassin. Master Lee then suggests that Ho Kyung tell Jang Wook about Cho Young and that he will help protect her because he loves Naksu. But Ho Kyung insists that Cho Young will live only as her daughter Buyan because Jang Wook loves Naksu and not her daughter Buyan. She swears not to let him find out about her while adding on the fact that Jang Wook doesn't know Naksu's real face and they would never recognize each other even if they ran into each other. She sees her decision as a price. As she lives in the agony of seeing Naksu's face in her daughter's body, Jang Wook too should pay the price of loving Naksu by never finding out that she is alive. To answer the question, why does Buyan's body have Naksu's facial features? To maintain balance and avoid running wild, the body and soul should be one, and if that happens, the soul's energy flowing in the body will take on its human appearance, which is Naksu. Now the body has only one soul, so they become one. She is recovering using Naksu's energy, As the energy flows in her face and she starts looking human again, her features will slowly resemble those of Naxu. The body and the soul must be one for her not to run wild. The question of why Bu Yan showed up when Naxu was performing the Alchemy of Souls was finally answered. Naxu didn't choose Bu Yan's body with the Alchemy of Souls, instead her soul was locked up inside Jin Bu Yan's body. As we go back on Season 1, Episode 1, jumping to 20 years later, during the fight, Park Jin succeeds in critically hurting Naxu, which leads to her running away from the scene. Despite taking an arrow through the chest and bleeding out, Naxu makes it into the nearby town and remains determined to stay alive no matter what. Naxu approaches a woman in the back of a bar and brings forth a strange orb. As smoke protrudes out from the roof, Naxu is found dead on the ground by the soldiers, who catch up to her. As we later find out, it's actually been transferred into a blind girl called Muda. Bu Yan recognized a powerful assassin when Naxu approached her while searching for the perfect body to perform Alchemy of the Soul, but Naxu didn't choose her, and Bu Yan also sensed the power of the ice stone when the soul ejector was used. She also very likely sensed that beneath a growing savagery was a truly good soul. She trapped Naxu's soul, which not only ensured that she would through fate find her way back to the ice stone and, in doing so, wrest it from the hands of the unworthy, but also pulled Naxu out of the darkness that was obscuring her path and back into the light. Bu Yan also prevented Jang Wook from being soul-shifted. Bu Yan saves both souls. She showed her great power to us in the first season. She fulfills her purpose because she knows that Jang Wook's soul is the King Star and Naxu's soul has a powerful energy. So she intervenes and makes her save these two souls for the future mission they can do with each other. As we remember in Episode 1, Season 2, from Seo Yul's point of view, that they suffered a severe drought and as a result the water level in the lake dropped. To answer this question, did Naxu perform the Alchemy of Souls successfully? As per what Master Li said, Naxu did not take over the body using the Alchemy of Souls. However, she started the process of Alchemy of Souls, but she did not finish it because Bu Yan intercepted and trapped her soul in her body instead. There is no switching between two bodies. Instead, they coexist in one body. Why did she run wild if the Alchemy of Souls was not successfully performed? As mentioned, Naxu started the Alchemy of Souls. She used the soul ejector, which has the divination spell of Shaman Choi, and activated its energy to leave her body. Why did Jin Bu Yan's soul not stop Naxu from running wild? We also discovered that Bu Yan's body was the reason Naxu didn't run wild 3 years ago, because she inhabited the body of the Great Priestess. Master Li also mentioned that the body will not run wild if Naxu does not use her energy. As you remember in the finale of Season 1, Episode 20, near the lake, Jang Wook meets Master Li and tells him that he will be leaving with Muda. He also reveals that he has the ice stone and hopes that Master Li will help him use it if Mudok's run wild. Master Li said she will be fine as long as she does not try to bring out her power, because that small, weak body is housing and locking the powerful soul of an assassin. If the body is from an ordinary person, she would have already run wild. The reason she has not is that the body is in control of the soul's power. Master Li noticed that on the first day that he met Jang Wook and Mudok on Danhyangak, the only thing that could control the power of a mage was the divine power of priestesses. Master Li confirmed in Season 2, Episode 2, the revelation that the body of Mudok is from the eldest daughter of Jinyuan priestesses, who possess great divine power. Episode 20 of Season 1 also explains this. When Jinmu interferes in Mudok's life, he gets to know that Jang Wook is planning to leave the capital, which goes against his plans of using the crown prince. But then he gets to know that Mudok will also be leaving with Jang Wook, which makes his suspicion grow, and he is able to connect her to Naxu. He then decides to test this as he follows her into the market and sneakily makes her inhale the soul potion. He then rings the bells with divination spell of Shaman Choi and is able to control Naxu's soul, which makes him sure that Mudok is none other than Naxu. This gives him hope. The same bell that Shaman Choi used to make Naxu's father run wild, they used it on Naxu too. However, later that night, Mudik is awakened by the sound of bells, which compels her into taking her sword and going to where Jinmu is. He then gives her his energy to help her gain her powers and commands her to kill Jinwoo Tak and go wild in Songgram. When Jinmu pushed Naksu's energy and rang the bell, the two souls inside the bodies conflicted and lost its balance. Naksu overpowered Buyon's soul, which leads to petrification. What do you think will happen in Alchemy of Souls? Light and Shadow? Have we covered any of the theories or assumption on your list? In the comments box below, please share your opinions and any further theories, analysis, or assumption that we may have overlooked.